YouTuber and founder of Save a Fox Rescue, Michaela Rains, has died at age 31. She took her own life due to online harassment. Now, before I get into this, because there is something that bothers me about this headline that I just want to address r- right out the gate. All right. She did not die by suicide. Okay. That implies that this is something passive that happened to her. This is something that she intentionally did to herself. And that changes the nature of it a little bit. So she did unalive herself. She did take her own life. That was something she did to herself. So I do think being clear in our language is really important. And when we do this, we kind of downplay the seriousness of what it is that has occurred. So, and I don't mean to say this to sound callous or anything like that. That's not my intention. But when we say they deleted themselves, it sounds off-putting. Yeah, and I think it's supposed to, because what they've done is a horrible and uh, cowardly thing to do, and it should sound off-putting to us. So, yeah, there's that. Now, here's a more detailed write-up of it by Dick Serto. YouTube Save founder Michaela Rains dies. All right. The shocking news was broken by her husband, Ethan Rains, in a video uploaded to Save a Fox YouTube channel on June 23rd, leaving viewers heartbroken. Ethan gave a tearful 11-minute long statement detailing Michaela's hard work with the various animals at her rescue, which include everything from foxes to pine martens, jackals, and more. He also clarified that Michaela struggled with conditions like autism, depression, borderline personality, explaining that she was always in and out of different kinds of therapy to help her cope, trying various mood stabilizers. Here's another thing, man. Like, there are too many people on therapy. And if you're in and out of therapy for years and nothing's changing, then that brings into question the validity of the person that you're working with. If you're not seeing any results, find a new therapist, man. It's just sad. Now, nothing really seemed to help, Ethan said. Simple tasks were hard for her. Looking at her from the outside, you could never tell what was going on in her head, but even just socializing would send her over the edge. Yeah, that's sad. And what makes this even more sad too is that she does have kids with which they will get into. Save a Fox founder was a victim of a harassment campaign. At this point, her husband revealed that Michaela had become the victim of a harassment online from people she knew in personal life, as well as other animal sanctuaries. They constantly spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela always took it to heart, he explained, and it hurt her. It hurt her a lot. For years, she pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down. And this is unfortunately, and I don't mean to downplay this, but this is we have to be real, okay? This is the reality of being an online personality. Having any online personality, there will inevitably be people who try to bring you down. There will be people who try to hurt you. There will be people who try to slander you. And some of those people may even be people that you consider friends, people that you work with, people that you know personally. But nevertheless, that's just something that kind of comes with the territory. And if you're somebody that's prone to depression or, eh, other disorders, and you're easily upset by mean words, then you should not be on the internet. I'm not saying that again to put you down. I'm just saying that because if you don't have the mental fortitude for it, this type of thing can happen because it's inevitable. People will say nasty things about you. You could be Jesus on the internet and people will say nasty things about you. You could be the best of the best men, and there are still going to be haters that are mocking you, that are trying to put you down, that are trying to tear into you, that are trying to slander you in every way possible. That's just comes with the territory, and if you don't have the thick enough skin to deal with it, then you should not be creating content. And this isn't to excuse the people that say horrible things and make up these things. Obviously, that's wrong. Obviously, they shouldn't say these things. Obviously, they're evil people, but there's no way that we can stop all of them. It'd be nice if I could snap my fingers tomorrow and everyone would wake up and they wouldn't send mean tweets anymore. Well, it'd be a little bit more boring, but I'd do it. If it meant, protecting people from online harassment like this. But that's not realistic because these people are out there and they're always going to be out there. There's always going to be trolls no matter what. You can't change that, but you can change how you respond to them. But this time it went too far. She couldn't bear what she was feeling any longer and she ended her life. It breaks my heart that someone was so selfless and devoted her life to animals could have so much negativity pointed at her. Why, he asked through tears. That's all I can ask is why. Michaela leaves behind Ethan and their daughter, Freya, as well as numerous animals she was caring for. I actually think they should have led with this because that's a very, very important piece of information. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about the scumbags that bullied her. I've said my piece. They're terrible people. They shouldn't have done that. They will be held account for every word they have spoken. Either in this life or the next one, they will be taken to task on it. But when you end your own life, this is something that an individual is deciding to do. It is a choice. It's not something passive that happened to them. It's something they actively did to themselves. And it's tragic. It's awful. I wish it wouldn't happen. I wish it didn't happen. I wish this woman had enough courage to face her demons and go home to her husband and her baby girl. Because what she leaves behind is pain and devastation, and it's really sad, man. It's really sad, and I feel for this guy. Here's a quick statement that he put out. There's a
And
much
she was so
longer video, but it's heartbreaking. And this is what they need to think about as they're going to make these types of choices.
and she was so sensitive to everything, which is a double-edged sword because on one hand, it allowed her endless empathy for those in her care, but it also means that she took everything negative to heart. And now I want to talk about how words, whether spoken in person or written online, can affect someone. For a few years, a group of people had been throwing dirt on Michaela's name and the rescue. Most of these are people she knew, and some of them are other animal sanctuaries. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart. And it hurt her. It hurt her a lot, but she pushed through. For years, she pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down and the mental challenges she faced, and she still rescued hundreds of animals and changed the lives of so many. But recently, more of the rude words, accusations, and name-calling came from some of those she considered close friends. I think all of this stems from jealousy and envy. But she felt as if the entire world had turned against her.
Heartbreaking. Really, truly heartbreaking. And I feel for this husband. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. But I also couldn't imagine leaving my wife and my kids. All right, which is why at the end of the day, what she did, it's going to sound awful, but it was selfish and cowardly. It is. And I know that's unpopular. And I know largely everybody's, calling out the people that are harassing her, but she was accountable for her own actions. And it's sad, man. It's just it didn't have to be this way because she did have a choice. Um yeah, it's just one of those things, man, that it's just a god awful thing. And I do think if you're someone in that situation where you're struggling, and I get like if your friends turn on you, that's rough. That's tough, man. I've been there. I've been there. Back in 2021 during COVID, I had some of my closest friends turn on me and slander me. One even tried to get me fired. And I get it. And that sucks and it's painful and it's horrible when you're going through it. But you have to be in this situation where you do know that there is hope and that there are people that depend on you. This husband no longer has a wife. This daughter no longer has a mommy. And no matter how bad you are feeling in a particular situation, you need to have the courage to face it for the sake of other people. See, this is what it means to actually love other people. And why I say it's selflessness, because when you're focused on what everybody's saying at you and you're focused only about how it's affecting you, you're blind to how your decision will affect the people around you, the people that love you and care about you. And this is why real true love wills the good of other people. And part of willing the good of other people is to be around for them. It's not a good thing that this husband has to raise his daughter on his own. It's not a good thing that this daughter has to grow up without her mother. It's a truly awful and horrendous thing. And I sincerely feel for this family, man. I'll be praying for them because that's awful. That's awful. Speaking of awful, this is a story that I haven't read, just covered the headline, but it seemed interesting. So, influencer Anna Barbara Burr Boldrini dead at 31 after botched surgery hours after partying with doctor. Yeah, so a good rule of thumb is if your doctor wants to party with you after doing surgery, probably a big red flag about the type of work that he does. Just saying. If this gets too inappropriate, by the way, I will be exiting from the story because something tells me when they say influencer, they mean like OnlyFans degenerate. A popular influencer went into cardiac arrest and died after undergoing plastic surgery just hours after partying with the surgeon in Turkey. Anna Barbara Burr Boldrini, 31, had traveled from Mozambique to Istanbul last Friday with her husband, Edgar Elgar Miles, to undergo several cosmetic procedures. Boldini signed up to undergo a breast augmentation, liposuction, and nose job in return for promoting Tusa's hospital in Istanbul on social media. She wanted to undergo these procedures to improve her aesthetic standards. It was a dream of hers, Miles told the outlet per Daily Mail. The couple, who had just last month, no, that's sad. That's really sad, had inquired about changing the date of the operation, which was originally slated for Wednesday to allow an extra day for recovery. Due to the scheduling issues, the surgeon decided to bring it forward to Sunday. Miles said nothing, said, noting that the surgery took place just hours after they partied with the physician. Yeah, that's a little weird. We went to the clinic on Sunday just to see the place, but the doctor wanted to perform the procedure without Anna being prepared. And while the duo were out with the doctor the night before, Miles claims his wife was being persuaded to go ahead with the surgery just hours later. That's what? Why? The doctor assured me that there were no problems and everything would be fine, Miles told the news outlet. As a result, Boldrini, who had boasted 797,000 Instagram followers and often shared singing videos on the platform, went under the knife the following day, and it was out of the operating room by 11 p.m. Sunday. Miles told the outlet that she had received a photo of his wife recovering and was told that she was still under anesthesia. They told me to go to the room. The assistants were acting strangely. I waited for 1 hour and 15 minutes to receive her, he said. Hours later, doctors told him that she had died. Jesus, man. I'd be devastated. And especially because this wasn't like a life saving. This was a cosmetic surgery that she underwent, probably because she, like the person we discussed before, was getting negative feedback from social media. Honestly, I think social media is far worse for women than it is for men, and I strongly encourage women to limit how you engage on limit your social media usage in general, especially if you don't have thick skin. Probably a bad idea for you to be on social media. So, all right. So I went down to the ground floor, and the doctor said that her heart was beating slowly, and others said that she was already dead. The doctors were detained at the medical facility but were later released by police. Tusa Hospital has since denied any malpractice and said staff attempted to revive Baldrini following her surgery. Despite all efforts by our expert anesthesiology team. The patient could not be resuscitated, they said in a statement obtained by Turkish outlet Turkey Today. The facility added that its staff is cooperating with authorities. I do have to say, it's very strange to me that this husband was partying with this lady and her husband. Why were you doing? What reason did you have to be partying with this couple before surgery? And then what was the rush to get her under the knife? It seems like mistakes were likely made and there is malpractice. And because of that, I do suspect this husband is probably going to have some sort of lawsuit. So yeah, that's sad.